Hello, I'm McLean Westbrook, joined by Jake Westbrook, and this is Yesterday Today, where we present you the best of yesterday's radio today.
Yes, sir. We're coming at you from our new studio space. We've had a bit of a change-up the last few months or so. Got picked up by KISU, stationed here in Idaho. They operate out of a college campus, but we're not actually there right now. We've been confined to this little satellite building that they have downtown here.
At KSU, they don't want to take any chances with letting us into the studio, trial basis sort of thing. It's understandable.
Hey, is anybody in there?
Wow, only a minute into our first episode and we've already got a visitor. McLean, get the door there.
Cold out here.
Oh, Willie Huckster, our filthy, rotten, lying, swindling, scandaling lawyer, Willie Huckster.
Whoa, easy there, McLean, easy. Boy, I gotta say.
We've been looking for you to get our revenge for all those wrongdoings that time you left us for dead.
Well, before I address those accusations you made of me being a scumbag, have you seen the size of the rats in this building? For crying out loud, you could eat for 3 weeks without going down to any department store and paying way over price for grits. Oh, man, I tell you, it is delicious.
What are you doing here, Willie?
Well, I wanted to see how well you were doing in these new digs I secured for you with this, lush, well-paying radio job I got you.
What do you mean you got for us?
From a distance. See, behind the curtain, I've been doing all kinds of hard work for you. See, McLean, you mentioned that this was a sort of a trial kind of thing. It literally is a trial situation. I'm actually currently on trial, and getting y'all a radio job is part of me showing the jury, see, that I am allowed to illegally practice law in the state of Idaho. So, when you said it was a trial situation...
You're allowed to illegally practice law.
Yes. Well, okay, so it all depends on which kind of law you accept and which constitution you think is the real one. I don't want to get into it right now. I've been trying to get myself a loan from the Idaho Central Credit Union, and they just won't return my calls. I've been sending them notarized letters, and their attorney keeps writing me back saying, all communication will be sent to me, not to my clients. Anyway, point is, I got y'all in here so that way you can get some money and really get yourselves going. So that's how you got this NPR gig. It's really going to get y'all started. Trust me.
Whoa! This is not an NPR gig. We're just on a station that airs NPR programming. We're not working for NPR.
On a station that yes, that's right. Well, here's what you got. You got old-time radio shows to share with these fine people. There's no copyright, right? No trademark you got to pay off.
Okay, yeah.
These things are older than, 100 years or however much it is. You just play that stuff, donations come in. And what's nice is those donations, no strings attached. You ain't got to worry about it. They give you loads of money for no reason,
Willie, that money goes to the station. I'm not seeing any of the... You're not getting any money.
But where's the station's P.O. box, McLean? Who went to the post office and illegally changed the location of where that mail goes to, McLean? So when them checks show up, where are they going? Are they going down there to that campus, or are they going up here to the mountains?
I feel like you know the answer to that question, Willie.
Yeah, you think I do? You think the cadence and the way that I'm talking indicates I know the answer?
Yes,
to
that
the
is exactly.
you?
That is, yeah.
Well, good. That was the clue I was putting down.
While they sort all that out, I'm going to get started with our first show here. This is the Columbia Workshop, a little thing called Now It's Summer, aired on September 21st, 1939. And the interesting thing about this is I lifted it from the Library of Congress's full-day recording of station WJSV. They just decided one day, September 21st, 1939, to record the entire day's broadcast of WJSV. And I love that recording a lot, and this is one of my favorite little pieces from it. So I'm presenting that, but if you get the chance, check out that whole recording. It is fascinating to hear an entire broadcast day from 1939. It kind of sucks you in, makes you feel like you're living in it, Anyway, this is Columbia Workshop.
Tonight, the Columbia Workshop presents the fifth specially commissioned work for the current Workshop Festival. Now It's Summer, a comedy by the young American author and playwright Arthur Kober. Earl McGill is the director. scene is a high school classroom in elementary physics. Charles Trow has taught physics for over 20 years, and what he says, he has said again and again.
Now, I want the class to observe that I've just made a parallel connection with these two bulbs. Now, watch closely. By unscrewing this one bulb, so, I put the light out. Now, does that affect the power of this other bulb? Yes, Corey, your hand was up first.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't what?
It doesn't affect the power of that there other bulb.
Exactly. It does not affect the power of the other bulb. Now, I want the class to notice the bulbs on the other base. These bulbs are connected in series. Now, observe, please, that when... Sweeney?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing, Sweeney?
Nothing.
Exactly. Quiet. Quiet, please. Sweeney, you're to give me your full and undivided attention. You understand? Do you understand, young man?
Yeah.
Yes, what?
Yes, sir.
That's better. Now, as I was saying, observe the effect as I turn this light out. The other light also goes out. Now, put that down in your books, please. How to tell whether devices are connected in series or in parallel. The test is to turn out one bulb. If all go out, they are connected in series. If one goes out, what's the answer, Sweeney?
The answer?
Very sorry to have to disturb your slumbers. Phillips, you give our sleepy friend the answer.
If one goes out, they're connected in parallel.
Exactly. Now, Sweeney, I want you to read what I've just asked you to put in your notebook.
Huh?
Huh is not what I asked you to write. Quiet. Quiet. Please, boys, quiet. Sweeney, I shall have to ask you to stay in after the rest of the class is dismissed. Minelli?
Yes, sir?
I want you to make tomorrow's homework on the board. Page 630, problems 3, 11, 12, and 14. I don't think that's at all funny, Sweeney.
Oh, gee whiz. Now a guy doesn't sneeze no more.
None of your impertinence. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, my God.
Stop. You will retain your seats, please. The signal is meant for me, not for you. You're all to read the pages on energy and be prepared to define the various types of energy. Now, have you all got that?
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow whether you have or not. All right. Class dismissed. Sweeney, I want you to come forward, please.
Oh, gee whiz, I didn't do
You will do as I say. Yes, what is it, Corey?
Are we supposed to do that stuff about power?
Your homework covers that question.
Yes, Benedict.
Yes, Benedict?
You said I should ask you when I could use the Bunsen burner, Mr. Trow.
Will you stop that noise, please? I'm sorry, Benedict. Not today, some other time. Oh, Corey forgot his textbooks. Will you see that he gets them?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, Sweeney.
Gee whiz, Mr. Trow, I'm supposed to see Mr. Considine after school. He'll give me holy heck if I don't see him.
Here's a sheet of paper. Make out a note to Mr. Considine saying I detained you, and I'll sign it.
Gee whiz, what did I do anyways? I was just sitting there. I wasn't hurting nobody.
Hurting nobody?
No, sir, I wasn't hurting nobody.
Hurting nobody?
Hurting anybody.
Better.
Gee whiz, why are you always picking on me? What you got against me, anyhow?
Every time I'm in the midst of an experiment or the explanation of some rule, you're either whispering to your neighbor or you're off stargazing somewhere. Now, I can't have discipline in my class if you're going to set a bad example, can I?
But I wasn't whispering, Mr. Trow. Today I was doing nothing.
That's it, Sweeney. You were doing nothing when you were supposed to be listening.
I was listening.
Don't contradict me. You were daydreaming. You had your eyes closed.
That's the way I listen sometimes. No kidding,
Sweeney, this has happened too often to be an accident. I'm afraid I shall have to report you to Dr. Curtis. You wouldn't want me to do that, would you?
No, sir.
Well, what's your average mark, Sweeney?
About 70.
70. Do any of your other teachers find fault with you?
No, sir. Nobody else picks on me. You're the only
Why does
one.
Mr. Considine want to see you?
He's coaching the baseball team. I'm supposed to be in the park
Keep
right
your
now.
seat, please, please. I'm not letting you go until we get to the bottom of this. Now, what is it, Sweeney? Come on, out with it.
I don't know.
Well, there's no need to be embarrassed. This is just between you and me. Now, speak up.
I got nothing to speak up.
Are my problems too complex?
Huh?
I mean, are they too hard?
They're okay, I guess.
Well, now, Perhaps I don't make myself clear. Perhaps if I expressed myself a little more, shall we say, more simply, you'd understand. Now, is that it?
Well, I don't know.
Sweeney, you must know what's bothering you.
I got nothing bothering me.
Last week, it was Turner I had to report. The week before, it was Hellman. Now, I don't want to go to Dr. Curtis again. Sweeney, there's an old adage. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Now, you've often heard of that, haven't you?
I don't know.
Of course you have. Everybody has. Now, there is something obviously wrong with you. I'd like to help you, but that requires your cooperation. In other words, let us say that I'm the doctor and you are the patient, so to speak. Now, in order to effect it, there you go again.
What did I do now?
Even when I try to help you, you won't listen. You were staring out of the window, wearing that sickish grin on your face. Sweeney, I don't know what to do with
I
you.
was listening, Mr. Trow. You said you was a doctor.
Your constant wool gathering is becoming a source of extreme irritation. You're really not a bad boy. If only you wouldn't allow your mind to wander off the way it does.
No, sir, no more. Gee, I hope Mr. Considine...
Now, one moment, please. I'm not quite through with you.
Oh, gee.
Now, stop your sulking. I assure you, it's no fun for me to stay here after school. But I must do something about you, if only as an example to the other unruly pupils. You don't like physics, do you? Isn't that why you're so restless? Go on, you can tell me. I won't punish you.
Oh, who wants to be an electrician anyhow? What do I care about that electric light and power stuff?
Well, what would you rather do?
Play baseball with the rest of the guys. That's what I was thinking when I was looking out of the window. I was thinking, gee whiz, now it's summer. Look at me, cooped up, here while the gang is in the park having fun. I was thinking, boy, it must be nice out there in the park. It's summer now.
But, Sweeney, we can't go about doing whatever we like. It would be a very strange world if we did. There are certain things which have to be done whether we like to do them or not. They make for routine and order. Now, if we were to neglect these duties, we'd have chaos and confusion. There are certain tasks that I have to perform whether I want to or not. I, too, would like to be out in the fresh air. There's also a park a few blocks from the boarding house in which I live. I haven't been there in... Oh, let me see now. Never mind. The fact is that I frequently hear some of my neighbors arranging to go there. There are times when I'm tempted to go along. But do I leave my work? Do I take time off? Do I neglect my duties? The answer, Sweeney, is emphatically no, I do not. Even though it is summer and there is a park nearby. Routine and order, Sweeney, are the great secret of life. Now, learn the simple art of self-discipline. For example, make a point of arriving at your classes promptly. Devote all your thought and energy to the subject in hand. Then, when your classes are over, you can relax. Play your baseball in the park. Have your good time. Happy in the knowledge that you've done your... Sweeney, I give up. You're incorrigible.
Well, what's the matter? What did I do now?
Come along. I'll take you to Dr. Curtis. Perhaps he can drill some sense into you.
Gee whiz, I'm always doing something wrong. Even when I sit nice and quiet, that's wrong.
Nothing I say seems to penetrate. Everything goes into one ear and out the very same ear.
Honest, Mr. Trow, I was paying attention.
You were busy scribbling away while I was talking. Sweeney, does anything ever stir in that cranium of yours?
Yes, sir.
Really? How surprising. What were you writing?
It's nothing.
Let me see it.
It's just a plain piece of paper, that's all.
Come on, let me have it. I'm curious to see what you think of, if you think at all while I'm talking. Well?
It's just some scribbling, Mr. Trow. It ain't got no sense to it.
No, I don't doubt that for a moment. I'm waiting, Sweeney.
Oh, gee.
Open your fist, please. Now, let me see what made you write this?
I don't know.
Old Donald Duck. Mr. Trow, Old Donald Duck. Old Donald Duck?
I didn't make it up, Mr. Trow. Honest, I didn't. The rest of the fellas, they all
You
got
mean that the other pupils also call me this? Do they, Sweeney? I want to know so I can be, prepared, so to speak. Do they?
It's kind of like a nickname. You know, like Red and Shorty and...
Old Donald Duck. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Why do they call me that? Please, tell me. I won't punish you. I promise you I won't.
Well, every time you talk, you always go like this. Now then, quack, 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 so to speak. Exactly. Quack, quack, quack,
That's enough.
quack, quack.
I don't want to hear any more.
Oh, I didn't want to tell you, Mr. Trout, but you asked me. You said you
Yes,
wouldn't...
I know. All right, Sweeney. I asked you and you told me.
That's what I was scribbling. I was thinking, gee whiz, now it's summer. There's the park, and I'm cooped up while old Donald Duck, he keeps right on quacking. Quack, 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 quack.
I had enough of that. Get out of here. Get out at once before I...
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Gee whiz, all I did was tell you what you asked me.
Stop! Old Donald Duck. Mr. Trow, you are old Donald Duck. Quack, 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 so to speak. Exactly. Quack, quack, quack.
Now it's summer. There's the park, and I'm cooped up while old Donald Duck, he keeps right on quacking. Quack, 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 quack. Gee whiz. Now it's summer. The gang is in the park having fun. I was thinking, boy, it must be nice out there in the park. It's summer now.
And here's the park, only a few blocks from the boarding house where I live. Oh, I haven't been here in... Well, let me see now. Heavens, it must be years. I don't remember this part of the park at all. Why, that playground there must be new. And look at those children. Dear me, so many of them. Climbing up that ladder and sliding down and climbing up and... Well, dear me, if only they'd apply themselves to their lessons that way. My, this is a large park. I'd forgotten how large it really is. Oh.
Heaven's sakes, mister, why don't you look where you're going?
I beg your pardon. I was so abstracted.
You almost knocked the baby carriage
I'm
over.
sorry.
Yes, you are right, my sweetie baby. Did a man hurt my pretty witty soldier boy? Oh, you witty rascal, you. My baby wants his toy. Where's that toy?
Oh, this must be it on the ground. Here, let me get it.
Thank you. Here you are, my sweetie baby. Here's your Donald Duck.
Well, I wonder where I am. This park is so big, I just can't find my way about. I must have walked a great deal. I think I'll sit down and rest a while. I really ought to be getting home, of course. There are the classroom papers to do. Routine in order. Yeah. I'm tired, though. Oh, dear, all these benches are taken. Oh, there's a place near that girl over there. I beg your pardon?
Hey, I'm sitting down on my newspaper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you reserving this place?
Reserving the... What do you think this park is, a theater or something?
Would you mind if I sat here?
Oh, why should I mind? I don't own this joint.
At last I can sit down and rest. That feels nice. I wonder if this young lady on my right reading the newspaper, I wonder if she's resting too. What have we here on my left? Oh, a young man. Is he rest... Oh, well, there seems to be someone sitting with him.
Say, Kitty, you sure you're comfy now?
Uh-huh. Only put down your arm just a little bit.
Okay, Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. Your humble slave Stretchy obeys the noble queen. Say, you want to know something, Kitty?
What?
It's too bad you can't see your eyes right now. Boy, some set of peepers, wow.
What's the matter with them?
Nothing's the matter with them. They're 100% perfect, your eyes.
Gee, it's so wonder you can see them. The light here, it's so bad.
Go on, Kitty. Take them out so I can examine them.
Crazy. You know, Stretch, a friend of mine, Shirley's her name, she recommends I should use mascara. What do you think?
I think your friend Shirley ought to have her head examined. She must be touched. Mascara. Why you want to spoil such beautiful set of brown eyes for?
They're not brown, you see? You don't even know the color. They're hazel.
Who says?
Well, look, bend down. See? Hazel.
Hazel, huh? You mean like a nut? Gee, you sweet thing.
Oh, Stretch.
Now it's summer. They're all in the park having fun. I was thinking, boy, it must be nice out there in the park. It's summer now.
Well, what?
Well, I guess they're brown, all right.
I ought to be home, arranging my work. Dear me, I'm way behind now on my duties. My, there really will be chaos and confusion. The secret of life, Sweeney, is routine and order. Routine and order, yes. Well, look at these two, Kitty and Stretch. They seem to know the secret of life. They're not cooped in. They're out here in the park. They both know it's summer.
Looks like we got an audience. The old guy's watching us.
Next time, maybe we'd better sell tickets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just couldn't
Give me my
help.
bag, Stretch.
Here, come on, Kitty, before his eyes start popping out.
No, please.
Hey, too bad you didn't bring your candid camera with you.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't. I didn't mean to drive them away, really. I didn't.
Don't let it bother you, Pop.
I couldn't help listening.
You get gray hair if you worry.
I thought they were both very sweet.
Yeah,
and then,
sweet.
Yes, and so young. I'm really sorry I frightened them away.
Look, Pop,
What?
I wouldn't worry none about those birds if I was you. You get used to things like that around here if you just hang around for an hour or so.
Oh, you seem to know this park.
Know it. I memorized it. Mention any leaf, I'll tell you where it is. What else I gotta do? Sit in my 2x4 and get a nice steam bath when I can sit out here in the open. Look at it, trees and flowers and lots of nice green grass. I like green for a color.
This is here and has been all these years.
What I'd be doing at home right now is sitting and staring at the walls and thinking, what good am I? Where do I come in anyways? Well, in the park, I don't know. People go past you, some happy, some sad. You start wondering about them. Maybe they got their troubles. Maybe they ain't even got a 2x4 with walls to stare at. Then I don't feel so bad. Now, why should somebody else's troubles pep me up? I don't know why. Still, it does.
Old Donald Duck, Mr. Trow. Quack, quack, quack. quack
Yep.
quack.
The man who invented parks ought to get a medal. Don't you think so?
Oh, I beg your pardon?
I was talking about the park.
Oh, would you believe it? This is my first visit here in almost 20 years.
Oh, from out of town, huh?
No, I live only a short distance away. Matter of fact, I moved there so as to be near the park.
You mean you live on... Say, you saw at the place or what?
No, I've taken it for granted, I guess. Like the way you take your neighbors and people around you. When I first moved in, I was in this park almost every day. There was a funny little path yes, I remember now. It was back of the boathouse. I used to walk along it every day, dreaming and planning. There was so much to plan and to dream about as I walked through the park 20 years ago.
Funny, but I was running around the park in those days, too.
You? Why, you must have been a baby.
I was 4 years old. Now, why should I lie? I was 6 years old. You ever been in Hardin, Minnesota?
I've never been out of this state.
I come from Hardin, Minnesota. Every Sunday morning, my old lady, she had a romantic nature. She dragged me and the whole family to the Hardin Park to look at the scenery. Me, my brothers and sisters, all 7 of us.
7?
Yeah, 7.
Oh, what about your father?
Well, he was a janitor. He had to stay home and tend the house. But the rest of us, every Sunday we was marching through the park. The Parade of the Poniatowskis.
The
Poniatowskis. It's a Polish name.
Poniatowski.
Yeah, I'd spell it for you, but what good would it do?
Oh, it's an odd name, isn't it?
Odd. You want to hear my full name? Get ready now. May Allison Poniatowski. How do you like a handle like that? May Allison.
It doesn't sound very Polish.
Just my old lady's romantic nature popping out again. You see, while Pop was cleaning up in the yard and tending to the garbage, the old lady was always off seeing movies. She was simply nuts about movies, especially about her idol, Harold Lockwood. Remember him?
I'm afraid I don't.
Well, the old lady was his fan. The family lived in a dive. This was before I was born. And it was full of two things, mice and Harold Lockwood's pictures. Both all over the place.
Oh, I don't think I'd like that.
Oh, they didn't mind. They was counting on me being a boy. Mom thought if she could see a lot of pictures, maybe I'd be born looking like Harold Lockwood. What do you call that thing? Pre-something?
Prenatal influence.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, having a girl must have been a great disappointment.
Not with the old lady's romantic nature. What the devil? She figured so long as I can't be like Harold Lockwood, I might as well be like the dame he played opposite. May Allison, her name.
Oh, I begin to see.
Yeah, with a handle like that, she figured maybe someday I'd meet a fella like Lockwood. And I don't know. I've been around. I've met a lot of guys. And if any of them was like Mom's Lockwood, all I gotta say is Harold Lockwood was no bargain.
Is your mother still fond of the movies?
Nah, to tell you the truth, I ain't seen her in years. The minute my older brother got a job, she up and runs away with a boarder, a fat little greaseball with a walrus mustache. With Mom's romantic nature, maybe he did look like Harold Lockwood at that. Say, must be kind of late, huh?
Oh, I wonder what time it is.
You got a match?
Oh.
The correct time is 13 minutes to 10, courtesy Century Easy Credit Plan.
Oh. Is it really that late? Dear me,
Well, thanks for sitting here and let me chew your ear off.
Oh, I enjoyed it very much.
I don't get a chance to do much gabbing around here. The dames, they don't seem to like my line of talk. And the fellas, they don't want to talk. They got one motto, action speaks louder than words. So, there you are.
Well, I'll say good night. I hope that we'll meet again.
Oh, sure. Anytime you're in the neighborhood, just drop in. Guess, I ought to be getting back, too. Yeah, go back to what?
Yes, and go back to what?
Well, look, I got nothing but a 2x4 dump to go to, but you?
Aye, what have I? A boarding house to go to. Mrs. Bell, the landlady's probably very worried about me. I've never been out this late before. But I'll be home soon. I'll be home, filling the air with chalk dust and classroom smells and my usual complaints, how some horrid little monster annoyed me and how I had to deal firmly with the rascal.
You're a school teacher, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, gee. Oh, excuse me.
What for?
For talking so dopey, calling you Pop. Gee, I should have known right away from the way you talked, so refined like. Gee, ain't I the sap, though? If you'd only told me what you was...
Why? What difference does it make?
A school teacher? Why, you must be awful smart or awful brainy. What I mean, think of it, hundreds and hundreds of kids, and you learning them things, telling... Well, what do you teach?
Physics.
Physics? It's a new one on me, physics. Sounds kind of funny.
Oh, it isn't funny. On the contrary, it's quite serious.
Well, what is it? I mean, arithmetic, that's figures. Geography, that's about foreign countries.
Well, it's quite an involved subject. Physics is the study of... Well, you don't really want to know, do you?
Oh, sure I do. But if it's going to take time, then forget it.
Well, physics is the science which treats of energy and matter and their relation to each other.
Oh, I see.
Do you?
What?
Do you see?
Honestly, I don't. What's it all about?
Well, roughly, it's about mechanics. Heat, magnetism, light, electricity.
It's still Greek to me.
And to my pupils, too, I found out. The only thing that keeps them from falling asleep is the classroom bell.
Look, tell me something. With so much knowledge in the world to pick on, how come you grabbed such a broken-down thing like that physics?
Well, I felt that it had a fundamental relationship to life. Heat, light, mechanics. We couldn't exist without them. But perhaps there are more important things. Yes. Sweeney proved that to me some hours ago.
Sweeney?
Today's particular monster. Now it's summer, he said. Who wants to be cooped up in a room, he said, when you can be out there in the park having fun. Well, he was right. He was right. Well, that Calliope sounds so gay and summery.
That's Pleasure Palace.
Pleasure Palace?
Yeah.
Oh. Say, I wonder if you would... well, no, never mind.
What?
No, it's too silly.
Oh, I'll tell you if it's silly. What is it?
Well, I'd like to go there. I'd like to go there now. Will you come with me?
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Am I hearing right? You do mean Pleasure Palace, don't you? Hey, look, you're too big a boy to go running away from school.
Yes, I knew it was too silly.
Gee, he really means it. So you know what this is, don't you? A pickup. Well, not that I ain't been picked up before. Where's my bag?
You'll go?
What do I got to lose?
Well, we won't stay very long.
Yeah, so I can get my beauty sleep on, be fresh in the morning to go looking for jobs. Don't worry, those jobs still won't be there, whether I'm fresh like a daisy or not. You gonna shoot the works?
The works?
I mean, will we go on the merry-go-round?
Oh, on the Ferris wheel, too, if you like.
And can we try the whip?
And the barrel of fun.
Don't forget the tunnel of love.
And we'll eat popcorn and apple on the stick.
How's about hot dogs and ice cream cone?
Why, of course, and we'll drink soda pop and lemonade.
Can you make mine a root beer?
You'll have that, too.
Come on, I'm getting indigestion just thinking about it.
Boy, must be nice out there in that park. Why, now it's summer.
All right, welcome back, folks. That was Columbia Workshop, and our unscrupulous lawyer, Willie, is dragging something in through the door. What's going on?
Willie, what are you doing?
I'm trying not to throw my back out while I bring this mini fridge in through the door. Boy, it's a good thing these door frames are real soft in this abandoned building.
Why are you bringing in a mini fridge?
Well, I gotta have something to sit on. And plus, I got space for my sleeping bag over there. That'll work pretty well.
Why do you have a sleeping bag in here?
Well, so I could sleep in the bag. It helps keep you warm, keeps the rats off your toes. Works pretty well when you really tuck in pretty good.
No. Why are you bringing... Do you think you're moving in here? What's going on?
Well, yeah, it's a perfectly good building. You guys are only using it when you're recording. Might as well get some shut-eye in here from time to time.
No, Willie, no. We were told we could use this building while recording. There was nothing about our deranged criminal lawyer sleeping here.
Well, not just sleeping. I'm also going to get my brewing operation set up.
Now, wait a minute. Brewing operation? What's in the mini fridge, anyway?
Well, book whiskey, of course.
Willie, McLean and I both completely forbid you from taking up residence in this building and making whiskey out of book mash.
Oh, come on. You're killing me here. Listen, college campuses are great places for the manufacturing of textbook-based mash whiskey. College textbooks are cheap. They're cheap as heck. You can get loads of them. There's kids running around with them in their backpacks. You knock them on the back of the head. There you go.
In a word, no. We're not doing that. Up next, folks, we have an episode of Our Miss Brooks featuring Eve Arden as America's favorite high school teacher. This is one of my personal favorite episodes, so I hope you like it.
Hang on. Listen, I'll meet you halfway, all right? I'll put the mini fridge out in the hallway, and people just walk around me.
Most female teachers at Madison High School think of Mr. Boynton, the bashful biologist, as an extremely handsome, virile, irresistible individual. But our Miss Brooks, who teaches English there, can take him with a grain of salt.
In fact, I could take him with a whole spoonful. But why waste salt on a fellow who's too shy to toss in a little pepper now and then? Last Friday at breakfast, I foolishly provoked a discussion of the matter with my landlady. Honestly, Mrs. Davis, he's more attentive to his animals. Why, yesterday he hardly noticed me because he took his dog to school for the day. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. What can a dog learn in one measly day?
Serves me right for mentioning it. May I have some toast, please?
Oh, here you are, dear. It's like I've always said. If dogs could learn things as quickly as cats, this would be a much better world to live in.
For whom?
No, I'm serious. Take our cat Minerva. For the past week, I've been teaching her mathematics, and she's become a whiz at it.
Mathematics?
Just you wait and see. Minerva! Meow! Tell me quickly now, how much is 2 and 2? Meow! Ah, that's a good girl. Well, I'll gather up the dishes now.
Just a minute. 2 and 2 equals meow?
Certainly. There are 4 letters in meow, aren't there? That's her way of telling me that the answer is 4. 2 meows equal 8. 3 meows equal 12, and so on. Oh, it's funny, though. She isn't so hot on the odd numbers.
Look, Mrs. Davis, I started this conversational maze with the simple statement that Mr. Boynton brought his dog to school yesterday.
Well, Connie, then it's simple.
What's simple?
You should do something to show Mr. Boynton how much you love animals.
Like what?
Well, why don't you take Minerva to school with you today?
Oh, let's not be ridiculous, Mrs. Davis. I couldn't possibly take Minerva to... Well, come to think of it, Mr. Boynton is extremely fond of cats. It might make a hit at that. Do you think she'd behave herself in my classroom?
Of course she would. She can stretch out on the seat cushion I ordered for your classroom.
Seat cushion?
You mentioned how trying it is, sitting on that hard chair all day. So I thought I'd surprise you.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Mrs. Davis.
Don't mention it. I mailed a letter last night telling the store where to send it, along with another note to the place where I ordered Victor's gift.
Your brother Victor?
Yes. He's every bit as fond of animals as Mr. Boynton is. That's why I bought one for him yesterday.
Oh, that's nice, Mrs. Davis. What did you get him?
A cow.
A cow?
Yes. It's a female.
Those are the best kinds. But why on earth would you
Victor just moved into a little farmhouse on the edge of town, Connie. It's only a 15-minute drive from here. By and by, he'll be adding more livestock, of course. But right now, with just the one cow, I figured he'd have his hands full.
He will if he plays his cards right. Well, I'd better dash off to school, Mrs. Davis. I'll have to use all my powers of persuasion to get Mr. Conklin's permission to take Minerva into class with me.
All right, dear. Just put Minerva into this valise I bought for her at the pet shop. It's a cat carrier. You might leave the lid open for her, though.
Oh, that won't be necessary. There are holes in the side through which she can breathe. In you go, Minerva. Here, I'll give you a hand. Oh, that's what I like about Minerva. She's so polite. Whenever you help her out, she always says 4.
You may be principal of this school, Osgood Conklin, but as long as I am head of the Board of Education, you will take orders from me. Is that clear?
Quite clear, Mr. Stone. Crystal clear. Couldn't be clearer. You are also...
Silence!
My lips are sealed.
Why, when I saw that dog running loose outside the biology lab yesterday, I was shocked beyond words. You know that animals aren't allowed on school property, Osgood. How did it get in here? Answer me.
Well, I haven't the slightest idea, sir.
Well, let's make certain that no dogs invade the school today. First, you will make an early inspection tour of all classrooms. Then I want you to post a guard at the front door throughout the day.
But, sir, why commission someone to do a job for which I myself am ideally suited? I'll keep a weather eye open, sir. You may be sure no animal will get past me. Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin. Oh, hello, Mr. Stone.
Good morning, Miss Brooks. Are you, going somewhere?
Going some... Oh, this valise. If I may ask your permission, Mr. Conklin.
Permission for what?
Well, you'll see as soon as I open the bag. It'll just take me a minute. Excuse me, Mr. Stone.
Go right ahead. Glad you dropped in, Miss Brooks. Perhaps you can shed some light on the identity of the culprit who dared to bring an animal into this school yesterday.
An animal, Mr. Stone?
Specifically, a dog. When I saw it romping around outside the biology lab, I came in here to report the incident to Mr. Conklin. When I returned to the spot, it had vanished.
Good. Some of those spots stay on forever. I'm afraid I can't be of much help to you, Mr. Stone. You see, mine is an English class, and I'm not one of those who are, I should say, in the habit of hanging around other labs. The labs of others, I mean. So I couldn't really shed any light on the identity of which the dog belonged to who. Whom?
And exactly how long have you had this English class, Miss Brooks?
You bet. Well, please forgive my faulty syntax, Mr. Stone. The thought of a beast on the premises has frazzled my nerves a bit. Well, goodbye now.
One moment. You were going to open that bag, remember?
Bag? What bag? Oh, the bag. Oh, well, you really wouldn't want to look at what's in this bag, sir. It's nothing but...
What was that?
I said I'll run along now and meow. Meow, that's a new expression some of the kids use. It's real cool, I think. Meow. Instead of saying goodbye, they say meow. Silly, isn't it? Sometimes I stretch it out with a little western drawl. Well, meow now, Mr. Stone. Meow, Mr. Conklin. Meow. Meow.
Now, that was mighty peculiar behavior. She galloped out of here like a frightened antelope.
Yes, and it's my guess that right now she and her western drawl are loping over to the old bunkhouse in Mr. Boynton's lab.
Oh, hello there, Miss Brooks.
Howdy. Please sit down, Mr. Boynton. We've got a little palavering to do.
Well, can it wait, Miss Brooks? I was just on my way to the cloakroom to feed Geraldine.
Geraldine?
You know, my dog. She's a boxer.
And if Mr. Conklin drops in, she'd better come out fighting. That's what I came to warn you about.
Warn me?
Yes, he's on an anti-animal kick. Mr. Stone happened to see Geraldine in the hall yesterday, and he was furious. Luckily, he doesn't know who her owner is yet.
Gosh, I guess I should have asked Mr. Conklin's permission. Oh, but there's little chance of my dog being discovered in here, Miss Brooks. Mr. Stone rarely comes into my lab. The same goes for Mr. Conklin.
Oh, well, then maybe my cat can hide out here for the day.
Your cat?
Yeah, I'll let her out of the bag. I certainly wouldn't want Mr. Conklin to find out I'm a cat rustler. Out you come, Minerva. You won't mind taking care of her for me, will you, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, not at all. Come here, baby.
All righty. Oh, you mean her.
I'm crazy about cats, Miss Brooks. Why, the minute I see one, I can't resist nestling it in my arms and stroking its little head.
Meow. And Mrs. Davis ordered a seat cushion sent to my class today, Miss Boynton. I'll bring it over so that Minerva can stretch out in comfort.
Oh, that'll be dandy. I saw Mrs. Davis at the movies last night, and she told me about her brother Victor's farmhouse and that she's buying him a cow. I just love cows, don't you?
Madly. Oh, I love all animals, Mr. Boynton.
You know, sometimes I get to thinking about my childhood days on Dad's farm, Miss Brooks. Oh, I miss those days a lot. I hope Victor asks me out to his farm someday.
We can both go out someday. Some night, I mean. Some night when Victor isn't home. We can stroll in the meadow, hand in hand, with the moonlight pouring down.
That sounds pretty thrilling. Do you think Victor would let me milk his cow?
We can both milk her. You take the left side, and I'll take the right side, and I'll be homogenized before you. Oh, great. Speaking of milk, has evidently whipped up Minerva's appetite. Steady, Minerva.
Mr. Conklin.
Yikes.
At ease. I hope you'll forgive this intrusion, Boynton. I just dropped into... Oh, hello, little pussycat. I say I just dropped in to make certain there are no dogs in here. Not that I suspect you, Boynton, but I just thought I'd take a look around. Well, I don't see any dogs on the premises. No dogs at all. Sorry to trouble you. I'll just run along now and hello, little pussycat!
I have it. Let's all play charades. I mean, there's still a few minutes before first class, so just for kicks.
That will do. Out with it now. To whom does this cat belong?
Cat? What cat? Oh, the pussycat. It's quite a pussycat, isn't it? Silky. It's a girl cat, no doubt. Mr. Boynton and I hadn't noticed her.
Oh, that's right. She must have strayed in, sir.
Nonsense. Miss Brooks, I'm beginning to understand those phantom meows I heard in my office. Now then.
What are you doing to the cat's collar, Mr. Conklin?
I'm removing it, Miss Brooks. It will be an easy matter to determine the person who owns her by simply checking the number on this license tag. That person, needless to say, is a dead duck. Goodbye, Boynton. Meow now, Miss Brooks.
Meow now. I don't quite understand that, Miss Brooks.
That's the farewell expression the kids use.
Meow? That's merely the cry of a cat.
So it is. Well, quack, quack, Mr. Boynton.
Quack, quack?
That's the cry of a dead duck. Having heard nothing from Mr. Conklin during my morning classes, I presumed that he had not as yet traced the number on Minerva's license tag. As I left my classroom for lunch, however, the figure of a sentry armed with a BB rifle loomed up before me.
Halt! Step forward and be recognized.
It's me, Mr. Conklin.
Oh. Step back and be unrecognized.
Aye, aye, sir. And so, having been honorably discharged, I hiked down to the school cafeteria and ordered chow. It was then that Walter Denton beckoned me to his table.
Over here, Miss Brooks. Wilt thou not visit me? The plant beside me feels thy gentle dew, and every blade of grass I see from thy deep earth its quickening moisture drew.
I ordered meatballs. What have you got?
The same. I guess you didn't care for that bit of poetry I quoted, huh, Miss Brooks?
You guessed right, Walter.
Well, how do you like this one? You'd never have let the cat from the bag if you knew Mr. Conklin would grab her tag.
You're either psychic or a sneak. How'd you find out I'm up the creek?
Oh, that's a very provocative question, Miss Brooks. You will recall that shortly before first class this morning, our beloved principal invaded Mr. Boynton's lab and trapped you dead to rights with your furry friend.
With two furry friends. Mr. Boynton lost his razor.
Yeah. Well, at that time, I happened to be standing in the hall just outside the lab, and presently I heard excitement-laden voices wafted through the transom. Now, that was a moment of great decision for me, Miss Brooks. I could have either hewed to the path of dishonor by remaining in the hall and eavesdropping, or I could have taken the glorious avenue of decency by closing my ears and leaving the scene.
Well?
Yeah, I took the dirty road out.
For shame. But you still don't know all the details, Walter.
Au contraire, Miss Brooks. I was about to say that some minutes later, I confronted Mr. Boynton with the juicy morsels I had overheard, informed him that I should like to be acquainted with all the facts, and requested that he sing.
And he sang?
Ezio Pinza would have envied him.
Well, this is no laughing matter, Walter. When Mr. Conklin traces Minerva's license tag...
Well, he didn't have time to trace it this morning, Miss Brooks, and it's too late now. Here is a little gift as a token of my esteem.
Walter, it's the tag. How did you get it?
Like I said, Miss Brooks, I'm pretty perfidious at times. When Mr. Conklin left his office for a few moments, I sneaked in, made off with the tag, and ever since then he's been flipping his lid wondering what happened to it.
But that's stealing. That's a dreadful thing to do, Walter, and thanks a million.
Yeah, well, you're entirely welcome. Only one thing worries me, Miss Brooks. Since Mr. Conklin can't establish ownership, he'll probably confiscate your cat and send her to the pound.
Oh, no. We can't let that happen to Minerva. Somehow we've got to spring her. I have an idea, Walter. You've got to sneak her out of the biology lab through the window and then take her to Mrs. Davis's brother's farmhouse. It's only a 15-minute drive from here, so you can report back to me in my classroom before the end of lunch period.
Check. I know a shortcut to the farmhouse, Miss Brooks. I helped Victor move some furniture in day before yesterday. Oh, before I go, I'd better stop at the steam table and get Minerva some milk.
That won't be necessary. If Minerva wants milk, why get it now? She'll get it at the farm, direct from the cow. Well, after Walter promised to sneak Minerva out of school to Victor's farm, the only problem remaining was what to do about Mr. Boynton's dog. In my classroom shortly after noon, I told Mr. Boynton what Walter had done.
Well, I doubt that he'll get back here before the end of lunch period, Miss Brooks. It's almost 1 o'clock now.
Excuse me, Mr. Boynton, I want to steal a little peek into the hallway. No sentry. Mr. Conklin apparently ducked out for a bite. Now's your chance to get rid of your dog.
Oh, I've already taken care of that. I simply lowered Geraldine out the window and told her to go home. She'll be lying on the doorstep waiting for me after school, Miss Brooks. You see, she's been trained. No matter where she is, she knows how to get to my apartment house.
So do I, but what good does it do?
Hiya, folks. I got your cat to the farm okay, Miss Brooks.
Nice work, Walter. Did you turn her over to Mrs. Davis?
Not exactly. She was out shopping when I got there, but I left Minerva with her brother Victor as soon as he got through with the delivery man.
Delivery man?
Yeah. Some guy was delivering a seat cushion.
What? But that cushion was supposed to be delivered to my classroom. Good old absent-minded Mrs. Davis.
Miss Brooks?
Yes?
A sign here.
For what?
For this.
Oh, no. Wait a minute, mister. This is a cow.
You got good eyes, lady. We'll give you the bucket free.
Gosh, a real cow. I haven't milked a cow in 14 years. Hand me that bucket, Walter.
Oh, no, you don't. This is no time to improve your handshake. Listen, mister, my landlady evidently got confused. There's been a dreadful mistake, but you'll simply have to take back this cow.
Oh, I'm sorry, lady. That'll take a separate order, and our company's jammed up for the day. Give 'em a call, though. Maybe we can take her tomorrow.
Well, you've got to be reasonable. You can't leave a cow here overnight. This is a public school under the supervision of the federal government.
Let's keep politics out of this. Gotta be going now. So long, lady.
I just caught a glimpse of Mr. Conklin and his daughter Harriet coming up the school steps.
What'll we do? Mr. Boynton, cut that out.
Sorry, I lost my head.
Now look in the bucket.
I'll see you later, Daddy.
Fine, Harriet. I'll be right here on sentry duty. No silly cat or dog is going to get past me today.
Boy, he's sure going to get a surprise from some silly cow.
Not if I can help it. Quick, close the door. Now listen carefully, Walter. I want you to stay here with the cow and see that absolutely no one enters this classroom. Then after school's over, when the sentry leaves, we can escape with the cow.
Okay, Miss Brooks, you can depend on me.
What can I do to help, Miss Brooks?
Just hand me that valise. The other one.
Steady, girl, steady. You're in good hands. 10 after 3, Walter. As soon as Miss Brooks gets back, we can...
Who goes there?
A friend. I'm unarmed.
Wait till I pull the chair away from the door.
Hi, Miss Brooks. See anybody in the hall?
Just Harriet Conklin. She was on her way to a dramatics club meeting. I saw Mr. Conklin getting into his car, so now's our chance to make the break. You men bring up the rear. We girls will lead the way. Come along, Bossy. Now keep your eyes peeled, Walter. You too, Mr. Boynton. If you see anybody...
Holy smoke! Quick, push her in here. I'll open the door.
But Walter!
No time to explain. In you go, Bossy. Come on. In.
All right, Walter. Now would you mind explaining what we and a strange cow are doing in Mr. Conklin's office?
Well, I just saw Harriet Conklin coming down the stairs. Oh, but we're safe in here. She never comes into Mr. Conklin's office when he isn't around.
Quick thinking, Walter.
Hi, Daddy. I thought you'd gone home.
I forgot something in my office, Harriet.
Oops, he's around. Pipe down.
What on earth is going on in there? Well, I'll soon find out.
Back the cow into the closet. Hurry.
Come on, Bossy. Back.
Come on, in you go all the way. That's it. In.
Oh, Now, if she'll only stay quiet until Mr. Conklin...
Moon over Miami.
Oh, hello, Mr. Conklin.
Miss Brooks, Boynton, Denton, what are you doing here?
Well, sir, we were just... Moon of Manacura.
I demand to know what you are doing in my office.
Well, sir, we were just...
Moonlight and
Is the song fest over now?
No, not quite, Mr. Conklin. Somehow I feel more coming on. I'm in the mood for love simply because you're...
Oh, shut up! You all sound like a herd of sick cattle. For the last time, what are you doing here?
Well, sir, we just dropped in to say goodbye on our way home.
I left here 5 minutes ago, but I forgot my hat. I'll get it out of the closet, and we can all go together.
What an awful way to go. Oh, surely you don't need a hat on such a lovely day, sir. Why not skip the closet?
Step aside, Miss Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Pardon me, please. Take it easy. Take it easy. I just want to get my hat. You take a second. Seems to be on the floor. If I can just reach it. I've got it now. Oh, I am sorry. Now, if I can... Now I've got it. Now I can... Pardon me again, please. Will one of you kindly tell me that I didn't see what I just saw in that closet?
You've had a rough day on sentry duty, sir. Overwork very often causes one's mind to play tricks that are...
Oh, yes, of course. It's absurd. I'm convinced the whole thing was a mirage, notwithstanding the indisputable fact that my hat here, as you can plainly see, is half filled with cream. Just to reassure myself, however, I'd like to take another look in the closet. This time you will follow me, Miss Brooks.
Oh, it's rather late, Mr. Conklin. Let's do it in the morning.
You'll follow me now, Miss Brooks. And I do mean now.
Yes, sir.
Holy cow!
And you do mean cow.
That was our Miss Brooks, which brings us to the end of Yesterday Today. Thank you for joining us for our inaugural episode here on KISU. This has been Jake Westbrook and McLean Westbrook and Willie, who apparently has left. Thank goodness. We'll see you folks next week. Don't take any wooden nickels in the meantime.